I never expected to make a video like this. I know I make Siege videos, but after getting 100 subs, I wanted to change my channel just a little bit. My main game will still be Siege, but I want to make content similar to my friend BeastModPlayer. He's a good friend and a good YouTuber, so go check him out after this video. But I have been playing Call of Duty since COD 4 2004, and I just want to talk about what I think about the game so far. And I also want to say that I'm not really a tryhard at Call of Duty, more of a casual player. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. MW2 is the newest game in a 20-year cycle, I guess, but more on that in a second. But for now, let's talk about the changes they made of the last generations of Call of Duty. And for starters, the perk system has changed. In the old games, you started out with all of your perks from the start, but now you actually have to earn them over time. So before, you could have Scavenger, Dead Silence, and Overclock. Those are just examples. You probably weren't going to run all those perks, but like I said, just an example. But now you start out with 2 perks, and whatever your last 2 perks are, your last perk being your ultimate perk, is whatever you will be earning. Another big change they made over the last generation of Call of Duty is now we're on a 2-year cycle as opposed to a 1-year cycle. So in 2024, Treyarch will make the new game, and throughout 2023, we'll be getting content for MW2. So if you don't like that, well, looks like you gotta suck it up. And personally, I like this change simply because, you know, some of these stronger perks won't be as strong anymore, and I also have something to look forward to throughout the game. So it's not just run and gun, now you actually have to look forward to something every game. And for the 2-year cycle, honestly, don't know why they didn't do it sooner. Now the next thing I want to talk about real quick is the actual maps we have in the game at the moment. And for the most part, all of them are pretty solid. Now, there's a few outliers to this, of course. And I personally think the reason why I did not like Modern Warfare 2019 is because the maps were so horrendously bad. So thankfully, the maps in 2022 are at least somewhat decent. And like I was saying before, there's a few outliers. I cannot name the maps off the top of my head, of course, because I don't know the names of the maps already. But as the game goes on, I'll learn the maps, and if you know which maps are bad and good. Now, moving on from the maps, I want to quickly talk about the UI in this game, and oh my god, I know a lot of people talked about the UI so far, but it's just that bad. I don't know where anything is. I've learned where some things are, but I don't know where other things are. I legitimately think you sitting in your chair right now, or laying in your bed, could probably make a better UI than Infinity Ward did. But I don't want to turn this into a 10-minute video about me complaining about the UI, so let's just move on and let's talk about how you actually get Mastery Camos this year. They've completely changed how getting the Mastery Camo, getting weapons, and getting attachments have worked. So, before you leveled up a gun to, let's say, at maximum level 71, like you did in Modern Warfare 2019, and you would get all the attachments for the M4. But now, in order to get all the attachments for the M4, you have to level up the M16, you have to level up the AUG, and so on and so forth. So, that actually gives you more variety, and that gives you a reason to actually use some other guns other than the M4 all the time, because, you know, everyone likes the M4 for some reason. But leveling up your guns in Modern Warfare 2022 is actually pretty slow, and that's for a good reason, because the actual camo system has changed. So before, you would have to get 400 kills with every gun in the game. And for the second camos, you had to get 50 headshots. For the next camo, you had to get 100 double kills. But in Modern Warfare 2022, that has changed. The camos are actually so much easier to get. For example, you only have to get 50 kills at the first camo, and there's only 4 camo sets. The second one is get 10 double kills, and so on and so forth. Now, there are mountain kills, unfortunately, and there's a little bit of long shot kills, but other than that, it's at maximum 25. So, the camo challenges are actually pretty easy this year. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, if the camo challenge is so easy, that's kind of bad because the camo is not as prestigious. And to that I say, does it really matter? Before, it felt like you had to slave away to get one pretty camo that you have to only use for a year before the next game comes out. Now, you have 2 years to use the camo, and it's easier to obtain, so more people can get it. So the real question is, does it really matter? Now, there is one thing I do want to talk about before I move on to the campaign, Spec Ops, and SBMM that I have planned about talking about. And that is that this game doesn't really feel that optimized. I don't know if it's graphically intensive. It does not look as good as Modern Warfare in my opinion, or Modern Warfare 2019. I am sorry for not specifying the name. But I have a 3090, and I'm not saying that to flex, but I have a 3090. So I should be getting at least 144 FPS at high settings. But I'm only getting about sometimes over 100. So I don't know if the game is actually optimized for good graphics cards or not, and I really don't want to get a 4090 just to play at 144 FPS, so I hope they fix that, or maybe it's intended to be that way. Now, there's only 3 more things I want to talk about, and like I said in the title, this would be a quick review. So I want to talk about SBMM, the actual campaign, and Spec Ops. Now, starting with SBMM. Where is it? No, seriously, I have actually not noticed SBMM. So if that is a deal breaker for you, then don't worry, because it feels non-existent to me in this game. While in Cold War, it feels like one game I would be doing at least decent, and the next game, boom, I'm in a CDL match. So that wasn't really fun to deal with. And now, I'm not going to give any spoilers about the campaign, because I know some people have not played it yet. But however, I will say it is a very, very good story. I was very impressed how Infinity Ward managed to live up to 2019's campaign. And overall, I thought it was a good campaign. But I'm a bit biased when I say this, I did not like playing it. And that's simply because on my first playthrough, I played on veteran difficulty. And you're thinking to yourself, or probably thinking to yourself, why did you do that? And it's because I fucking hate myself, and I don't know why I did that. And now the last thing about the overall game that I want to talk about is Spec Ops. And I have only played one game of Spec Ops, and that's because it reset my entire control settings, and it's a pretty hard game mode, so play it at your own risk. I'm not going to play it until they fix it resetting your keybinds, so that's it for Spec Ops. Alright, that's it for Modern Warfare 2, or at least my take on Modern Warfare 2. So, what do you think about my opinions? Do you disagree, or do you agree? And I know this video was pretty short, but there was not much for me to really talk about with Modern Warfare 2 because I don't really think much about the game. I think it's overall a solid 7.5 out of 10. And if you are a die-hard Call of Duty fan, I think you might enjoy this game. SBMM's not really that noticeable, or noticeable at all, for that matter. The campaign's pretty good, and Spec Ops is a little buggy. But with all that being said, I think it is a good game, and I think you should get it. And this is the first game I've actually reviewed, so let me know what you think about it, and if I should do more. But with all that being said, I'm still going to be doing Siege content, and I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.